The Open Air Laboratories, or the OPAL project, was launched in December 2007 thanks to funding from the Big Lottery. OPAL North East is one of 9 regional partners up and down England, and Newcastle University is coordinating the programme. My name's Dr Anne Boland and I'm the Principal Investigator of OPAL North East. The aim of OPAL is to put people back in touch with nature by empowering them to study their local environment, and also to do some hands-on scientific research and really get involved with trying to understand the state of their natural environment.
Hi, my name's Jack Slade, and OPAL came into our school to see how our school environment is. OPAL has run 6 different surveys across the country to find out more about the state of our environment. The surveys were the Soil and Earthworm Survey, the Air Survey, the Water Survey, the Biodiversity Survey, the Climate Survey and the Bug Count Survey. OPAL got people to change their lifestyle, to spend time looking at nature and looking at the world around us. This is Tamfield School doing a biodiversity survey. We are looking for a range of different insect species in our hedge. In the soil survey, we digged up for worms and see if our soil is polluted or not. Then we did, on the climate survey, we looked at vapour trails and seen how the wind direction is and the wind speed by using bubbles.
It's getting us to be more scientific and adventurous, and we might decide that is a career choice when we're older. You find out what species, or if there's any species that are endangered, you could make measures to be able to correct that. So basically, in all, you're helping the environment and, well, the people who keep the environment safe.
This is the Nature Club at Scottwood Community Garden. They used the OPAL's water survey to find out how healthy their different ponds were.
Look. You. There they are! There!
You've never done pond dipping before, have you?
No.
So tell me about what you think of what we just done then.
I think it's good because like you see different animals like you haven't seen in real life before.
There he is, he's hiding.
Come on.
There's a newt.
Yeah. You see those frilly bits at the side of his head?
Yeah, there's gills.
Yep.
I just think it's unreal. Because it's what we do is going to real scientists.
So how does it make you feel about that then?
Excited, really.
OPAL created an exciting and educational programme to be enjoyed by people of all ages and abilities. The National Autistic Society visited Newcastle University several times. This is them enjoying doing the Nature Treasure Trial at Moorbank Botanic Gardens.
Nothing alive. And it was once.
There you go.
Now, if you can think what it is, don't say it out loud, because everybody else has to be able to figure it out.
I liked learning the stuff, the interesting facts, like about the tallest tree in the world, about like different smells and what they're used in and how you can grow them, berries that are in the garden that you can just pick up and eat.
Behind me we've got the herb garden, and this morning I came out and I picked one of them and I put it in our smelly sock. So you have to smell it and then go around and see if you can figure out what the smell of this one is.
When we came with the youth groups, it was like our first group session and they absolutely loved it. So we ended up doing things with the education officer at Jesmond Dean, and we did like a nature walk with them, and we've done a lot of work with Groundworks, which is another environmental charity. So yeah, it's kind of started off something, shall we say.
Kids at Fordley Primary School had fun doing the bugs count survey. They found all kinds of creatures living in their playground.
Sorry. Yes, I got a woodlice.
I think it's been an eye-opener for them, because it's not just a case of going out in the school grounds and playing. They actually got to see different habitats,
and it opened their eyes to all the creatures around them, and I don't think they were aware of how many different species there are in school, and I think they were really surprised at what they found in different places where they've probably never looked before.
OPAL has helped to inspire a whole new generation of environmentalists. This is Veronica. She's from the Northumbrian Mammal Group. They got a grant from OPAL to help them get new members.
The funding has been absolutely fantastic. The most important thing, I think, is the way that we've been able to offer free membership. Normally our membership was £5 per individual, which is not a lot of money, but it requires a certain amount of effort to keep paying it every year, and you do lose members if they have to pay. Free membership means that they can access all our events and our newsletter and everything else without having to put effort in themselves. So they're free to come and go as they please. So we're picking up a lot of new people. The more new members you can bring in, particularly from members of the public who aren't already members of, you know, something or other, the more interest you can develop. And it's a sort of a, if you like, a jumping off point for new naturalists. We do quite a lot of work for families as well, which again brings children in, and they're obviously the future. The door, the animal goes in to get to the food and bedding, and as it goes in and through the tunnel to get to the food and bedding, it treads on this little treadle here. When it treads on the treadle, the door shuts. And this is called a live trap because clearly you are definitely looking after the animals. Now you do have to be trained to have this, and you do have to have a license to use it. I did a small trapping session earlier, well overnight actually, and this is the result. We have caught something, which I'll now show you how we release. We put it into the bag. So we'll see what we've got in this one anyway. You release it into a bag, and here we have a little wood mouse. Before we had the grant we had about 50 members. Now we've got at least 150 and rising. So we feel that, you know, those new members will all in time begin to contribute towards conservation generally.
OPAL has helped people to have a better understanding of their natural environment. This is Keith. He's absolutely bonkers about wildlife. If you want to ask him a question, he'll know the answer.
My name is Keith Bowie, and my designated role within the OPAL umbrella of activities is as the biodiversity mentor for iSpot for the north of England. The iSpot team of mentors around the whole of England have done a whole raft of different activities. Most recently, during the period of 2011 and early 2012, they've been taking what they call explore nature sessions out to groups of people, very often from hard to reach communities, hard to reach groups, to actually give them a new experience of something that they wouldn't normally have within their remit of life. I'm passionate about wildlife. I make no apologies for that. What my dedicated role in life, in everything I do, in all of the roles I play, with all of the organisations I connect with, is to make people as passionate about wildlife as I am.
One of the things that's happening in recent generations, in Britain anyway, is we've lost the ability, human beings, to forage for wild food. And if you actually go at this time of the year, the countryside is full of wild food. And there's no better place to start looking for wild food than a hedgerow.
Wildlife allowed me to escape from the life that I might have had, from my upbringing and my background, to a whole different world. And it's opened the world up, literally, the geography of the world, from South America to Africa, across Europe. It's opened that up to me. But more importantly, it's opened up my horizons in my head. And what I would like to achieve, with the little bit that I can do as a mentor for the Open University through OPAL, I would like to open up other people's horizons to nature. That is so important because nature is in every one of us, and every one of us is part of nature.
OPAL has helped to build stronger relationships between the public and volunteers and scientists. Volunteers from the Scotswood Community Garden came to Newcastle University Field Station at Close House. They helped the scientists with their research into the ozone.
So we have what we refer to as good ozone and bad ozone. You have the good ozone, which is in the stratosphere and which protects all living things on Earth from ultraviolet radiation. And then we have bad ozone, which is tropospheric ozone, and which is the subject of what these open tops are here for today. The problem is with tropospheric ozone is it interferes with plants' processes. So plants that are grown under elevated levels of ozone don't do as well as plants grown in ambient air. Now the ozone concentration in the atmosphere is steadily rising all over the world, and so the problem is that we're frightened that a lot of our plants, which are in fact crop plants, particularly legumes like peas and lentils and beans, are being badly affected by ozone. And because of rising ozone levels, the yield and biomass of these crops is decreasing drastically.
I've passed this place before on my bike and always wondered what was in here, so quite interested to come down and have a look.
In here we have 12 pots of simulated upland pennant grassland, which is a very species-rich mixture, and we're exposing this to 50 parts per billion ozone, which is what the predicted ozone climate will be in 2050. And we have found that over the past 6 years, the species number and biomass of this grassland has declined dramatically.
We've just done a harvest on the SD9 mesocosms, which are this legume-rich, coastal, quite rare SSSI community, and we're just sorting them into individual species, and then we're going to dry them and weigh the biomass to see if the composition has changed over years that they've been exposed to ozone in the open-top chambers.
The idea is so that they can see whether the grasses are growing more so than some of the other species. So if they're taken over in some of the different environments.
Yeah, because the ozone tends to affect the growth of the plants, and I think sometimes the grasses can do better, and it means that they're sort of more likely to take over, and the other plants will maybe sort of either die off or not grow as well.
In the past 4 years, the OPAL North East teams worked with over 14,000 people of all ages and abilities in areas ranging from rural Northumberland in Wooler down to Hartlepool in the south on the County Durham coast. And we've worked with a whole range of people, helping them with the OPAL national surveys. As a scientist working on OPAL for the last 4 years, the whole way in which OPAL does things has made me really think quite closely about what I do, what my research is, and how relevant it is to people in their daily lives. And it's also made me think about ways in which I can get other people, hopefully, as excited about the importance of plant biology and how important plants are for a sustainable future.
Everyone that took part in the survey helped OPAL to find some really mint stuff. Thank you. From the water survey results, we have found that the North East has lots of healthy ponds and lakes. We had one of the highest percentages of ponds, with excellent water quality in the country. We also found out the most common worm that people found in the soil survey was the red-headed worm. You don't have to be a scientist to enjoy science. Science is really important to you because everything in this world and out of this world is to do with science. We can work together and learn new cool things to help our environment.
Most of the people that we've worked with have found it really exciting to get fully involved in scientific research, and I think people have come away with a bit more confidence in the fact that everybody can contribute to scientific research, everybody can make a difference, and many of the people have become so inspired that they've gone on to lead surveys in their own habitats, and hopefully they'll continue this in years to come so that OPAL North East really has a proper environmental legacy.